All right, guys, for some reason, my brain is just running on like 10 right now. So I'm going to do another video while I still got the energy, while my curse energy is still at its highest. But yeah, let me tell you exactly why the whole trend of men going their own way. Now, again, I preface this entire video by saying that I genuinely think there's a difference between a video and online aura, so to speak, and real life reality aura. Like, you can go online and go on Twitter, go on Instagram, or go on YouTube, and you'll be fed whatever it is that you normally like to view. If you notice, social media apps, they kind of adjust to your preferences. If you like cats, motherfucker, Instagram is gonna show you cats. You know, it's way worse for YouTube. You watch one Dexter Morgan short, and all of a sudden your entire feed is about the Bay Harbor Butcher. God damn it, dokes.
Surprise, motherfucker.
So anyways, I preface this video with that. Understand that what you see on the internet and real life are two different things, and that you should treat them appropriately. Now, there's been a trend on the internet of men on dating apps, and men are starting to go their own way. And men are starting to not really deal with dating because in their heads, they don't see that it's worth it. They don't see that it's worth investment. They don't see any kind of value in being traditional with women. And a lot of people are confused about that. And I just wanted to make this quick little video to tell you exactly why it's that way. I've really thought about it for a long time. And I've been on the sidelines, and as a coach, you can't be in the game, but you can definitely pick up a thing or two by watching people play the game. So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a flip. I'm seeing a change. Women, for the longest, have been in positions where they haven't really had a lot of control over their own lives. But to my understanding, women have felt very objectified and very not in control of their own lives. And nowadays, women more than ever have more progressive in their lives, been more independent in their lives, and have worked towards their own individual goals. If women of 100 years ago could see the women of today in the workplace, in these positions of power, I think they'd have tears in their eyes, honestly. But the caveat to that, or the kind of kicker, is that in the dating world, some of those women, not all, but some of those women still want to hold some traditional characteristics that are somewhat associated with the things that they're trying to leave behind. Like, for example, in a traditional situation, when you're, courting a woman, you pay for her dates, you protect her, you get her flowers, you open the door for her. Those are certain chivalry. Women still kind of expect traditional characteristics from the men that they date, while at the same time, they want to keep the modern characteristics they want to keep. And it kind of conflicts. Like, it's almost like they want to lead modern lives and have modern lifestyles, but in certain aspects of their said lifestyles, they want to keep it traditional. And they want to do that with the opposite sex, who has their whole entire idea of how to date. I feel like that's one thing that men and women don't understand about each other, is that the way that we approach dating are immensely different. The way a man approaches the dating world is 100% different than the way a woman approaches the dating world. And we're also introduced to it in a lot of ways. For example, a lot of women, again, I'm not saying this is every woman, but to my understanding, a lot of women are kind of told what to expect before they're even of the age to start dating. Like, their moms or their dads will tell them, hey, don't be messing with no boys, da-da-da-da. But in my experience, boys or young men aren't really told much of anything when it comes to dating, actually how to treat a lady. It's mostly trial and error. Yeah, you might get advice here and there, but you're not going to get a manual. Like, no one tells you how to court a woman, or no one tells you how to approach a woman the right way. Nobody sits down and tells you that. And in the traditional world, men are the ones who are supposed to be pushing that narrative, supposed to be pushing the relationship, or I want to date. The whole idea of the woman dropping the handkerchief is a good example of how traditionalism has kind of pushed that narrative. But ultimately, I think that women are changing, and they're changing the script of how things have been, and they don't want to change everything. But the changes that they do want are conflicting with what men want. And again, most men or the average guy, and this is about the internet. This is not real, okay? So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. If your life is different, okay, cool. I'm happy for you. But I'm just saying that, like, generally speaking, if you're a lady, right? Generally speaking, a man's gonna look at you funny if you're saying that you want to be independent, for example, but then at the same exact breath, you're also expecting your man to pay for dates or pay for dinner every time or pay for your boyfriend to pay every time. It's like, or you still expect him to pay every bill. You know what I mean? Or something of that nature. Now, again, those are examples. Those are not factual. I'm not saying every example is that. You can use your imagination. But I just think that's where all that is stemming from. I think that men feel like women are asking too much, or they are not clearly understanding what they're asking for and what it is that they're kind of offering to the table of dating. Because at the end of the day, when you're dating somebody, when you go into the dating world, there should be a balance in your relationship. There shouldn't be an imbalance of one person doing more than the other simply because they're expected to do that, because that's what they're expected to do. Every relationship is going to be different, and you can't apply your what you want out of characteristics out of your relationship. You can't pick and choose characteristics in your relationship that aren't, I don't know, man. It's just that so many people come into the dating world or the dating game with their own needs being met as the priority as to why they're going into a relationship. You know, I've thought about this, and maybe you guys could let me know in the chat below, but like, to me, I feel like looking for a relationship is entirely selfish. Like, I feel like in most cases, like in 99% of cases, when people are looking for a relationship, looking for a partner, they're not looking for a partner to meet their needs. They're looking for somebody to meet theirs. They're looking for some kind of companionship. So that's why I say that it's inherently selfish. Like, who want to be in a relationship is to want to be loved, and to want to be loved is somewhat of a selfish endeavor. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. You know, to me, selfish is a word. It doesn't have a negative or positive connotation unless context has been applied to it. So, with that being said, to want to be in a relationship is inherently selfish. And in my opinion, through what I've seen, through experiences in my life, people never come into the dating game looking to meet other people's needs, but looking to have their needs met. And basically, I went on this tangent. This whole entire video has been a tangent on why I believe that, like, nobody's finding what they're finding. And I think the reason why, side note, but future /Base the Races, whatever the fuck my channel name is today, I forgot to add this part in, so, you know, sorry. But back to the previous parts of the video really quick, is that, you know, women are challenging traditionalism today. And that's fucking awesome. That's fucking fantastic. But what I feel like is happening is, and this goes across the board with men and women, but I feel like traditionalism in general is changing and it's being challenged. And the other side of things, so like, men are experiencing traditionalism change, and they're expecting the other side to adapt to what traditionalism has been for them. And I think women are changing the traditionalism in the modern day, but there are certain characteristics that they want to keep the same, or that they are expecting to stay the same. And it's just not happening because they're not really communicating with the other side. So I really think ultimately both sides are changing traditionalism, and they're expecting the other to just get along with it. And there's no communication. Everyone's just butting heads, and that's why it's the way that it is. So, but back to your scheduled homework. I'm sorry. Is because everybody's looking for something instead of the opposite. It's actually kind of almost counterintuitive. Like, dating, the success of it is counterintuitive. You would think that in order to find a successful relationship, that you need to go out there and find the right one. And if you can't find the right one that meets all your needs, then fuck them, buy a cat, die alone, because no one's good enough. That's the type of, you know, memo that's been kind of said the past couple of years from various people. Kevin Samuels, you got, you know, the whole feminist movement has been its thing, and both sides have good ideas and good thought processes. But where I think we're not understanding it is that at a certain point in your dating journey, you have to look at yourself and think, man, what am I lacking? Am I meeting the same standards that I have set for the people that I'm trying to date? Because if you're not thinking about how you are in the dating world, if you're not focused on being a better you, then you will ultimately continue to find yourself in the same exact situations, because you aren't focused on you. You're focused on other people to fill shit that you need to fill for yourself. And that's really why no one's having successful in the dating game, in my opinion. But you guys let me know. With that being said, you know, I've been kind of waiting on this video for a long time, and don't expect too much content like this from me unless you guys want it. But it was on my mind a couple weeks ago, and I want to think about it and talk about it. So here it is. Anyways, with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. All right, peace.